As we start talking about global experiences and roadblocks and challenges and opportunities with 5G, I thought of maybe starting off by highlighting to all of us that it's all about the consumer experiences. It's all about businesses making 5G something that is beneficial for them. And of course, governments, mission critical networks that need to live up to their mission. Now, in order to do all of that, there are several best practices which have to be met, and we need to remember there are service providers, mobile operators who need to get that up and running as a network. So some of the points I'd like to touch on include spectrum. A lot has been said about spectrum in this panel and over the, since this morning until now. It has to be available, it has to be affordable, it also has to be different than 4G. Larger chunks of spectrum, wider chunks of spectrum. So innovation, new user experiences can be launched through that spectrum, and of course it has to be affordable. So spectrum is one thing. The other thing is that we have to remember as we move on to new spectrum realms, we have to get the network infrastructure closer to the customers. There's no way around it. People call it densification. It was raised as this panel as well. And in order to do that, a major challenge is site acquisition. With many of the operators we work with on 5G and on 4G, several of them already have launched 5G networks across the globe. Site acquisition comes time and time again as a major roadblock which has to be addressed. Other points which are also important, the network capacity, which needs to carry all those innovation, new services, IoT, mobility, and other industrial applications. We talked about this morning about the fourth industrial revolution. The network capacity has to be increased 100-fold even more, and we need to sustain that. Service providers and network equipment manufacturers, software manufacturers have to sustain that. Not only that, in order to accelerate the rollout of the network so 5G services can be delivered, another approach which becomes very prominent, and we hear about it, and we certainly adopt it and foster it, is open networks. Open networks hold the potential of accelerating network rollout, making it far more affordable, and this is also very key in that regard. Now it comes to the transport network. A lot has been said about the radio access network. That's crucial. Another crucial element is the transport network, the backhaul. Backhaul is key. And it's a combination of fiber and then it's with wireless, which has to be delivered in microwave spectrum, in millimeter wave spectrum, in order to deliver that capacity. Now, combining that all with the fact that new innovative services need to be delivered, the network slicing comes along. And for that, in order to combine all that in transport, a disaggregated approach to the network, again, said before, I'm emphasizing this, which is critical in order to simplify network rollout, network deployment, and making services available up and running very, very fast. Now, we're doing wireless in our company, and we serve our customers with that. It's very important to talk about spectrum, not just in the context of the radio access network. We need more spectrum for backhaul and for fronthaul, and it is key, and there are efforts in the industry and by regulators to open up new spectrum above 100 gigahertz in this country, also in E-band and in V-band, in order to deliver that. Now, I talked about the network, which is a major piece which has to be addressed. Not a roadblock, but certainly a challenge and opportunities within to drive more innovation and drive services in a far better way, more exciting way. The last point I want to mention is the business models. Not only it has to make sense for the public, for consumers, for businesses, for government, it has to make sense for the operators, and business models need to be developed in order to make this very, very attractive for the service providers, and we have a few examples worldwide which we already see coming, which are delivering that. Thank you.